welcome to the 5th anniversary of the Monsoon Festival of Performing Arts, presented to you by South Asian Arts Society. This is the digital edition of the festival. The first time we're trying something like this. Pretty cool. Thank you guys. My name is Gurp Sian. I'm the festival producer and also the South Asian Arts Society's executive director. And we've got a great show planned for you guys here tonight. I'm super excited, and a huge welcome to everyone tuning in online as well. We are here today at the beautiful Culch Historic Theatre in Vancouver, British Columbia, which is located on the unceded and traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples, including the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. Usually, I welcome everyone. When we do a live show, I'm the guy who says hello and welcome to tonight's comedy show. And now that we've gone online, I didn't want to take a back seat and lose the opportunity to tell some of my lame jokes that I always tell. So hopefully you guys will laugh, including the people who are here today and people listening online. But before I do crack some of those jokes, I do want to thank some people. I want to thank some partners and supporters. Firstly, the City of Vancouver, the City of Surrey, and the Canadian Department of Canadian Heritage. Our media partners, Omni TV, CDTV, Spice Radio, and our digital media partner, Daily Hive. And of course, our venue, which I mentioned, the Culch. They've supported us since the first year of the festival in 2016. So thank you. Let's give a big hand, a round of applause to all of our partners and sponsors. Now, normally, I would caution people not to drink and drive. I mean, it's different this year. You still shouldn't drink and drive, but because I'm guessing a lot of people who are tuning in are sitting at home or somewhere stationary, driving is not going to be an issue. So drink as much as you like. Go crazy, right? I guess there's no limits, but just remember, if you have a spouse or if you have children, they are not going to give you the morning off if you get a little bit too tipsy tonight. So keep that in mind for those of you who have kids or who are married. No days off after you've been drinking, right? We all know that. Since this show is being streamed live, and we have a small studio audience here as well, one of my favorite dad jokes is almost destroyed. Almost ruined. Thank you, COVID, for killing one of my favorite jokes, because not only can you guys at home keep your phones on, you also don't have to mute your pagers. I mean, who the hell has a pager these days? Nobody. Who has a pager? Come on, people. Come on. Give me a break. It's my favorite dad joke. It's my favorite dad joke. Thank you for nothing, all of you. Anyways, if you're wondering why I said the word hell and how did I get away with that, well, it's because this show will most likely feature some explicit language. So you've been warned, okay? You might hear some words like the S word. Not sus, which means mother-in-law in Punjabi, which is a pretty bad word, but other S words you might hear. You might also hear the F word. Faluda is not the F word I'm thinking of. Faluda is an Indian dessert, but other F words that are really bad. You might hear some F words. There's some B words you might hear as well. B words like bad. I can't say that word, but I think some of you know which word I was going to say. It's the Punjabi sister equivalent of MFer, okay? Figure that out for yourselves, but other B words you might hear tonight. So what I'm trying to say is that if you didn't read the disclaimer on our website, this show does feature mature content. So if you have anybody sitting in the room with you at home who's 18 or under, you might want to kick them out of the room for the next 60 minutes while the show is going on, and they can come back and join you later. Anyways, that's all I've got to say. No more lame jokes. I won't put you guys through any more misery here in the studio at the Culch, and also people sitting at home. Please help me welcome someone who is really funny. Our host for this year's Monsoon Comedy Night. She's hosted the Leo Awards 5 times. You can also catch her on the Babysitters Club TV series, which is on, I think, streaming everywhere now. Please give it up for our host, Kalyn Miles.
I love that 70s song where they drop the consonants in all the words. I'm trying to multitask. How's everybody doing? Yeah! Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching from home, I guess. This is my first post-COVID show, and seems pretty normal, pretty standard. Exactly the same. Doing a show for, I want to say, 8 people, wearing masks on a Sunday afternoon. So it's almost like COVID didn't happen. And I'm wearing clothes for the first time in 3 months. I've barely remembered how to put together an outfit, clearly, so there's that as well. Guys, fuck. 2020. What the fuck happened? What a little bitch 2020 has been. Shit, I'll tell you what happened. We all got in trouble. We got fucking grounded, all of us. Collectively, the world fucked up and we got sent to our rooms for 3 months. 2020 to me is kind of like, it's like that stepdad. You know that stepdad that like doesn't have any rules? He kind of can't be bothered. He figures that we're like responsible enough to take care of our shit. And we're just like those disrespectful little shits that are like, this is our house. We're gonna trash it. We don't even care. We're not gonna clean up after ourselves. We're gonna blow through all our money and fuck you, stepdad Dale. His name's Dale because most stepdads, I think, are named Dale. And 2020 is like that dad that just went from one extreme to the other. He went from like absolutely no rules to just like he's fucking had it. And he's like, nope, try to be nice. You guys couldn't handle it. Everybody go to your room. All of you, 3 months in your room. And he wasn't nice about it at all. He canceled everything. He's like, there's gonna be no friends. There's gonna be no parties. No Olympics. What else? What else didn't we get to have? And he came for everybody, right? Nobody was safe. He's like, oh, you're married? You married? Yeah? Oh, you're getting a divorce? No, you're not. Not for 3 months, you're not. You guys get in that house and you sit there together and you will learn to love each other. How about you two? Oh, happy? Good relationship? Strong foundation? Right, okay, we'll see. Talk to me in 2 months. You? All by yourself? You single? Yeah? Yeah, you don't like to be alone? Too bad! Go to your room and be with your thoughts. By yourself. For 3 months. When's the last time you had sex? You better make it 2 years and 3 months, because that's what's happening. Nobody's touching you for 3 months. That wasn't me. That was someone else that told me that things were really hard for them during COVID. So that's what happened. And then it kind of felt like it was getting better, right? Like it kind of felt like maybe like the COVID rules were easing up. Life was getting like a little bit normal again. And we fucked it up again. Some fucking hillbilly, small dick energy cop goes and kills George Floyd, and the whole fucking world can't get along again. Now all of a sudden the word privilege is more offensive than the N-word, and everybody's screaming at each other, and Dale just loses it. Dale's like, I swear to God, if I hear All Lives Matter one more time, I will turn this car around and I will cancel Christmas. Put a mask on your face. Wash your hands. Take that picture of a slave off of your bottle of syrup and shut up about it. And we were so whiny. We're like, I want a haircut. No, you can't have a haircut. No Botox for you either. You will look your age. But I miss Grandma. Well, Grandma's dead. Because somebody's mask was a little too itchy to wear in Whole Foods. Grandma's dead. You're welcome. And if anybody's even thinking about voting for Kanye, I swear to God, Christmas will be canceled too. Poor Dale, we've been so hard on him. I can't open this bottle of water. I just look like an idiot trying. So a little bit about me. My whole family's white, not to brag. I am adopted. I was found in a ditch in a third world country called Bangladesh by a witch doctor, but you're not allowed to say witch doctor anymore. That term is considered offensive. They now identify as Reiki practitioners. I don't know if any of you have ever been to Reiki. It's fucking bullshit. Has anybody been? It's ridiculous. It costs you a fucking fortune and nobody touches you at all. You're just healing yourself with your own brain, mind powers or whatever. It's like going and paying a prostitute to get you off, and she's like, well, why don't you just touch yourself? I do that like 20 times a day. It costs me nothing. But I am adopted, and I always think that the best part about being adopted is that there's no genetic ramifications when you hook up with like a really sexy cousin. Like, socially, it is frowned upon. And you don't want to do it in your mom's childhood bedroom right after your grandfather's funeral. But the chances of you accidentally giving birth to a half sandwich, half troll doll are very, very slim, so that's good. I am, on the other hand, often afraid that I might accidentally have sex with like a biological relative, because I have to assume that probably I wasn't the only one that got chucked in that ditch, because otherwise, right, then it would be personal, and thousands of dollars of therapy has convinced me that it wasn't. So I am assuming that I probably have siblings all over the world that I don't even know about, and I'm always scared that I might accidentally fuck my brother. This is actually a difficult event for me, because I don't like to even look and make eye contact with brown guys, just in case. You'll put some laughs in on that one in post, right? There's gonna be a laugh track for this? Woo! Having white parents growing up, that's always been really interesting. Like I said, my family's white. So I have what I like to call privilege by proxy. And privilege by proxy is kind of like, I still do get pulled over by the cops for like no reason whatsoever, but then when they look in the back seat and see my white nieces and nephews, they just assume I'm the nanny. Just let me go on my way, which is great. So it's like, you know, kind of half and half situation. Having white parents when I was growing up, that was kind of cool. One of the best things about it was that my parents could never give me shit in public. You know, when you're shopping with your mom and you're being an asshole, and they drag you out of the store, and my mom would come and tell me that it was time to leave and grab me by the wrist, and I would just start flailing around. I'd be like, I don't know this woman! Please don't make me go with her! And it was very effective, because it was the 80s. And remember in the 80s when kidnapping was really, really popular? Right? Kids were always being stolen from the arcade and off the slip and slide in the 80s. This is a very, very common occurrence. You're going to send your child to buy you cigarettes in a bathing suit. Chances are they're going to end up on a milk carton in a couple of days. I spent the majority of my childhood being terrified that I was going to get kidnapped. But I now spend the majority of my adulthood being terrified that I had been kidnapped, because my parents are really, really nice, but there's just like a lot of holes in that witch doctor story. And I look so much like the Brown family that lived across the street. I'm noticing that when we're out in public, people think that my mom and I are partners. It's probably because we're always antiquing and going to Home Depot and buying outdoor area rugs together. And so I'm finding that I'll call my mom, like I'll use the word mom, I'll say it as often and as loudly as possible, just so people don't think that we're partners. I don't want us to get judged. And I'm not really worried that anyone's, you know, I don't care if someone thinks I'm a lesbian. I have a very masculine energy, and my mom looks like Jamie Lee Curtis, so the whole thing makes sense to me. But it's more just like when my mom pays, which is always, I know that the server, the cashier, is just looking at my mom like, girl, you could do so much better than her. And I had to grow up with that, you know, and they really, really questioned her standards when they thought she had kidnapped me. I don't need that as her life partner as well. So I am single. I know, what? So weird. Fucking her cousin, she's dating her mom. How the hell she fucking stays single this long? What? I know, it's crazy. But I am single, and it's hard. It's hard being single at my age, because there's nobody left. All my friends are married, everybody's got some. My friends are always like, but don't you like ever want to meet anybody anytime soon? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I do, but you bitches took everybody probably when I was banging my cousin at my grandfather's funeral. I don't know, I was busy. So there's nobody left. But it's okay, because I'm actually now approaching the age where all my friends are starting to get divorced. So I'm very patient. I'm gonna sit back, chill out a bit, and get on in everybody's sloppy seconds. Otherwise, I've also got friends who've got children that are getting to be those teenage years. I'm noticing a lot of hot potential. And so I could stand by for like another 3 or 4 years, 2 max, and get in on that. Okay, so that is a little bit about me. Do you guys want to get the show started? Yeah? Yeah? That's my online dating profile. 3 months is up, so you guys want to get started? If you're anything like me, who's out in public for like the 3rd time in 3 months, and everybody just wants to go back home, and the only face I want to see is my dog's. So let's bring out the first comedian. She is very, very funny, I think. No, she's gonna be really, really funny. She's wearing a fantastic kimono, and her name is Monique Bellamy.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I feel like that's what I'm missing in life is an intro song. Like, I need an intro song every time I walk into a room. Well, brings the confidence. Yeah, it's good, right? So, this feels a little foreign being, in public and performing in a theater. But then again, every time I'm in public, I feel a little foreign. So, my name is Monique Bellamy, and I'm actually kind of like an amateur comedian. This is my third time doing this. I kind of just wander around trying to figure out what I'm going to do in life. So I've been using Zoom a lot. Everybody using Zoom, man? Zoom job interviews. Zoom second job interviews. Zoom, I'm sorry, we've decided to go a different direction. Zoom marriage counseling. Zoom divorce proceedings. Zoom, let's give it another shot. Zoom makeup sessions. Don't hit record. So I'm really excited to be here. This is South Asian Arts. Give it up for South Asia. This is awesome. I'm actually not South Asian. I'm Indo-Fijian. So basically my people were dislocated. Like we were taken from India and we were brought to Fiji to work on the sugarcane plantation, which explains my excellent work ethic and my addiction to refined carbohydrates. It's pretty awesome. People don't know what to think when they see me. Like, they're like, what is she? Is she Indian? Is she black? She's got that sort of, like, I don't stop traffic, but I definitely cause distracted driving situations. And I'm like, what's going on with her? But Indian people, they get me right away. They know what's up. They're like, oh, I know this one. She's too much chocolate to be from Punjab. You're from Fiji, right? So I don't want to correct them because they're my elders, respect your elders, but I'm like, yeah, I'm from Fiji. Next thing they say to me is, just speak Hindi. They want me to speak Hindi. They'll talk to me in Hindi. And I'm be the first to admit that my Hindi is not Rosetta Stone quality. It's like not good at all. And how many of you guys know that Indian people, we talk with our bodies, like body language, facial expressions, that's how we speak. You know when an Indian person is upset or unimpressed right away. It's like, so they're like, Hindi mein baat karo, main Hindi samajhta hu, I can speak Hindi, I understand. I'm so like, okay, Hanji, aapke, and right away, water beta, no, that is not good Hindi. Don't talk. And you can suddenly feel like their embarrassment for you and my mom. Like suddenly I'm carrying the shame of 1,000 Indian moms who are mad that their children have forsaken the mother tongue. All because I can't speak Hindi like Priyanka Chopra. Crazy. I'm married to a white guy. It's awesome. He's always talking about the weather and that Kinder Surprise pipeline thing. I don't know what it is. It's not. Thank you. His inner thighs are so white that when he steps out of the shower, I'm a little like, turn off those high beams, bro. 2 words, face tan. But he's amazing. He's a good man. We've been married for 7 years. 7 years was the last term on my car lease. And afterwards, I was told I could either return the car or get a new one, and I wasn't able to do that with my husband. He always wants to take me camping. Here's the thing, brown people don't like camping. Have you seen our houses? Why on earth would we pack our stuff up and go and live in the wilderness? It just doesn't make sense. My children love it though. The other day we drove by Tent City and they're like, Mommy, we want to camp on the side of the road. I'm like, no, baby, you don't. See, my immigrant parents worked their butts off so I wouldn't have to live in a jungle. I marry a white guy and suddenly I'm sitting in a forest trying not to pee on my own shoe. When you go camping, you see signs that say, beware of bears. I don't even like going places where the signs say, do not feed the geese. It's dangerous, man. He has me sitting out there. You know, there's these like garbage cans that are bear-proof. Like, I don't even like the things in my house that are child-proof. I can't even get into those drawers. Still going camping and stuff. It's crazy. You know, I feel like he just doesn't appreciate how hard it was for us to get a home. Like, we're millennial homeowners. It's a big deal. This guy wants to go live in the forest. You know what you never see on the news? Missing hiker, age 32, named Devinder. Because they don't do stuff like that. With us, we're just too smart for that kind of stuff. We have 2 amazing children. They're super cute, but they're like terrorists, you know. I see all these white moms on the internet just like, oh, this quarantine has been such a blessing. We just get to be at home and just be present and just breathe our children in. I'm like, my kid threw a spoon at me because I gave him a teddygram with a broken arm. He was mad. My daughter, oh, she's so precious. She's repeating all the positive affirmations that I say to her. So she'll come up to be like, Mama, you're sharing. You're a big girl now. Mama, you flushed the toilet. You're a big girl now. Mama, Daddy, come look at Mama. She's a big girl. I tell her, I went to therapy for 6 months so I would not identify as being a big girl, and you just keep taking me back. I didn't say that to her. My mom says I'm too Canadian, who worked really hard to immigrate us here, but suddenly I'm too Canadian. And when I call her, she's the one that's like, Beta, I can't talk right now. I'm watching The Handmaid's Tale. It is getting very sultry. She just started dating, which is really culturally taboo for a 60-year-old Indian widow. Typically, she should be sitting in her home wearing a white sari, looking at a shrine of my late father with a face that looks like this. But she's dating, and every now and again she'll call me and be like, Monique, he texted me, but then I texted him back, and he didn't text me. But then I went on the internet, and he liked a video of a panda sneezing. I know he's doing something, but he won't answer me. Or every so often, I'll walk in, and she'll be on the phone with him, and she'll be like, no, you hang up first. I'm not going to hang up first. No, you hang up first. It's pretty incredible watching her. The other day, I walked into her house, and I said, she doesn't like to admit that she's in a relationship or that she has a boyfriend. So I said, Mom, how's your boyfriend? And she says, what are you talking about? I don't have a boyfriend. What am I, a little girl that I'm floating around with a boyfriend? And I said, well, what would you call him? He is my companion. And I'm like, Mom, that makes it sound like you have a disability and he's just there to help you. But then again, she has a disability and he's there to help her. She doesn't know that when she buys something on Facebook, people can see that, like through bidding wars and stuff. And I noticed that she was bidding on lingerie. And I said to her, Mom, do you know that people can see that you're buying lingerie? I'm not buying lingerie. What are you talking about? I'm like, Mom, when you buy something on bidding wars, all your friends can see. And she's like, what? I'm not. Oh, I thought it was like a game of Price is Right. I just put it down to tell them what I thought the retail value was of that. That's all. I wasn't doing anything. Maybe you guys should leave me alone because I'm a widow. And I'm so sad. And I'm so lonely. All right, guys, that's my set. Thank you so much.
Monique Bellamy. Yeah. Yeah. Do I touch this? What do I do? Ah! Guys are still here. Great. Glad to see you. What do you guys think of Monique? She's funny. Super funny. Monique, my mom actually recently started dating online as well. Which was super awkward for me to have to hear about, but mostly because my mom she gets words wrong and like sentences, she doesn't do them properly. So she was telling me about this guy that like ghosted her, and she got she was calling him a douche, and she kind of just got it all mixed up, and she's like, Kalyn, this guy, he douched me. I'm like, I'm sorry? Sorry, what? He douched me. I got douched by this guy. I'm like, I need you to just stop and clarify now. This is a very, very different situation. I also always appreciate any mom that can be honest about their children, because I have a lot of friends that like to tell me how smart their kids are all the time, like to tell me that their babies are really, really smart, and I just always have to remind them that your babies, does anybody here have a baby? Yeah. Yeah, right. Let me tell you something about your baby, because I get told this all the time. My girlfriend just had a baby. She's like, she's so smart. Your baby's not smart. Babies aren't smart. They're not capable of being smart because they're fucking babies. Okay? It's like, they probably have the potential to one day be a smart human, just like one day they're gonna maybe be hot. I'm not gonna call your baby hot, because that'll be awkward and weird. Your baby's not smart. Right now, your baby's trying to open up a rock. So, appreciate the honesty. We're gonna just keep going. We have another comedian. His name is Cliff Prang. He is a 5-time race car champion. That's a lie, but he's wearing a fantastic red shirt. Give it up for Cliff Prang.
Monsoon Festival! Put on by South Asian Arts, which begs the question, what am I doing here? I'm a white boy, token white guy. I'm the Gora the Explorer. But I married a white woman, which means that I didn't explore that much. This just in, I have finally figured out what the term agoraphobia means. I got it. What was once the fear of going outside or in open spaces is the fear of white people outside or in open spaces. And it makes sense, right? I've experienced this. I used to live in an Indo-Canadian neighborhood. And they didn't know what to do with us. They didn't know what to make of us. I remember 2 uncles driving slowly by our house with the window down. Winder. That's what they call it in the neighborhood, guys. These guys slowly rolling down, pointing at our house, saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, to the left, this is the only non-brown house in our neighborhood. Please keep your arms and legs inside the vehicle at all times, and for the love of God, do not feed the animals Pakora. They will never leave. They will never, ever leave." People didn't know what to do with us. My friend, Jazz, very confused. I should clarify, my friend's Jazz. It was Jazz and her brother Jazz, and Jazz and his sister Jazz. And here's a side note. I don't mean to be critical. If I go to your house and I ask if Jazz is home and Mama G answers which one, you may be a wonderful mother. You may make the best chapatis, but you have failed at naming your children. You have. Could you imagine if my parents named my sister Clifford? This is Clifford Karn and this is Clifford Preet. It's like, no, I can't. I don't like that. And my dad's name, his name is Johannes, which is Dutch. People call him Hans for short in Canada. If my dad was Punjabi, which I would love, his name would be Jazz Hands. And I can introduce him. Oh, Daddy! Daddy's home! Jazz Hands. That would have been awesome. But yeah, the Jazzes didn't know what to do with this. They didn't know. It's like, do we call you white? Do we call you Caucasian? Do we call a realtor to get you the hell out of the neighborhood? What do we do? What do we call you? And here's my philosophy on color. There is no other color other than brown. There's no skin color. There's no white. This is white. That would be terrifying. My pants are black. That would be terrifying. Right? You're brown. That's it. That's the only color, brown. You're either light brown, you're brown, you're double brown, or you're super brown. That's it. Or thanks to the Color Standards Reference Guide of America, my skin tone is actually called sand. This is sand. And Punjabi people, their skin tone is sugar maple. Let me ask you this. What's more Canadian, sand or sugar maple? There you go. It's sugar maple. That's the end. The answer is sugar maple. That's what the answer is. It's more Canadian. Just in case you were wondering. Sugar maple. Can we agree on this, though? Let's agree on this. That children are racist. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Children are racist, and I blame Dora the Explorer. My kids watch Dora the Explorer, and now they assume that every person of color is speaking Spanish. And that was problematic living in the Punjabi neighborhood, because this nice auntie came up to my daughter, was like, Sat Sri Akal, little girl. My daughter was like, Hola. Vámonos. Swipe or no swiping. This was very embarrassing for me, because she tried the accent. That was very embarrassing. And then she said to me, hey, Dad, did you know that in India, this is a swear? I don't think it is, dear. She's like, yeah, in India, this means this. I'm like, no, I think you're wrong. I think that means you need to go to the bathroom. No, I know for a fact because my friend Harpreet, she's from India. Or was it China? She's so ignorant. And then she's like, hey, Dad, did you know that all Indians can't wink? I'm like, honey, you can't say that. You cannot say that. She's like, yeah, Dad, all Indians can't wink. I'm like, no, first of all, we need to establish which Indians are we talking about. Are we talking about the Indians who are stealing the jobs, undercutting the trades, and building the giant houses? Are those the Indians we talking about? Or are we talking about the Indians whose land, culture, and freedom that we stole and continue to steal? Are those the Indians we're talking about? Karma, guys, is a biblical principle. So here's the thing. That joke, you either hate it at the beginning and love it at the end, or you're super racist. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, yeah, I overheard my daughter talking to one of her friends, and she's like, my dad is so dumb. And as a father, that really hurt my feelings. But as a comedian, I was like, how dumb is he? She's like, my dad is so dumb that he hasn't read a book in over a year. I'm like, that's not funny. It's true, but it's not funny. And then she went on to say, my dad is so dumb that the only thing he reads are his joke notes to help him remember the words of the jokes that he wrote himself. And then she said, and that's why I like Mom more than I like you. And you guys are actually probably wondering still, which of Allie's friends, my daughter's friends, can't wink. You're probably thinking about that still. It's Harpreet, guys. And that's ridiculous because she's Chinese and she speaks Spanish. So I've been thinking about it, and I've figured out racism. I figured it out. So just a little bit of thought, I figured it all out. Racism is like ear hair. It's gross. Racism is like ear hair because the lighter your skin is, the easier it is to spot from a distance. Racism is like ear hair because the older you get, the thicker and grosser it becomes, making it more difficult for you to hear new things. Racism is like ear hair because you don't really notice it in yourself until someone points it out to you. And the people who point it out to you either really love you or they think you're a piece of trash. Racism is like ear hair because it's tedious and it's painful to pluck out, and if you choose to ignore it, your wife will need to close her eyes in order to have sex with you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And me, I've been married for 21 years. Yes, thank you very much. She is also not applauding. And a lot has changed. When we first got married, she was like, Clifford, you're my everything. And now she's like, Cliff, you're all I've got left. Thank you so much.
Woo! How's everybody doing? Yeah. Everybody still got their pants on? Everyone that's here, hopefully, probably everyone at home is taking theirs off. I'm wearing a bra for the first time in 3 months. I feel like I might as well be in a straitjacket, wrapped in chains, buried in a pile of dentures, while Kanye whispers his inauguration speech in my ear. That's how torturous wearing a bra is. Coming up next, we have a fantastic sketch by Leena Manro and All-Purpose Sketches. Give it up.
Oh, hello. Welcome to Honest Fairy Tales. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, was a young maiden stuck in a tower. She had long, flowing hair, and her name was Rapunzel. A prince came by and climbed up her locks to rescue her. Or so they say. Keep watching so you too can learn what really happened that day. FYI, Rapunzel is being played by a South Asian woman. Why? Because fairy tales are often a little racially insensitive, so why not? I mean, Snow White. Snow White? Could you be any more on the nose? I mean, what the fuck is up with that, huh? Sale kutte na hoy da banchod. Enjoy. Woe is me, stuck up here high on the second floor of this castle above the lobby, this wretched balcony, with no one here to save me.
Fair maiden, I am here to save you.
Oh, do you see me?
Yes, I can see you. My eyesight is exceptional.
Okay, so what is your plan?
I'd like you to let your hair down and I shall climb up.
Excuse me?
Let your hair down.
I heard you. My hearing is exceptional. I just don't know if that's such a great plan. I mean, my hair isn't even all that long. It's just, why don't you see if you can maybe find a ladder somewhere?
A ladder?
Yes, a ladder. You do know what a ladder is, don't you?
But of course. I'll find one. Ladder? Ladder, where are you? Forget it. Maiden, just let your hair down.
Oh, what about a large stool?
A stool? A stool?
Yes, you can step on it and reach
There
it.
isn't a stool large enough to reach you. What a ridiculous idea. Maidens have the most ridiculous ideas.
Excuse me? Don't make this a gender thing, you asshole. You know what? Climbing up my hair is fucking ridiculous, you misogynist.
I am not a massage therapist. I'm a prince. Prince Charming.
You're an idiot, actually. Oh, and you know what? There's nothing really charming about you. You're quite dumb, actually.
I am dumb and also charming. All right? Now let your hair down.
And then what?
Huh?
You want me to let my hair down
Yes,
so you can climb up?
correct.
And then what? Because we'll both be stuck up here. We'll both be fucked.
Forget it. I hadn't thought that far ahead.
No,
we'll
you didn't,
cross
because
that
you're a
bridge when we
stupid,
get there, Maiden.
stupid
Now
prince.
let your hair
You look like a
down.
chef. You look like Chef Boyardee.
Enough. I've had enough.
Oh!
Give me
No!
your hair.
Stop
This
it!
will
That thing is a lot longer than it seems.
You are going to be my princess.
Let go! Let go! Let go!
Here, my love.
Oh my God! You just ripped out a chunk of my hair.
I apologize
Why would you do
for
that, you fucking asshole?
that is repulsive.
You're such a bad
Quite the
person.
potty mouth you have on you.
Bad person. I hate you.
My apologies. It was a bad idea, and it was a pleasure making your acquaintance. And I hope to see you.
Call 911. I need help. My head is bleeding.
very funny. Very funny stuff. Oh, it was good. I like that one part where the thing happened and then we all laughed together and I did take my pants off for that one. Next up, we have a very, very funny man. He is tall, dark, obviously, and handsome. Give it up for Sunee Dhaliwal.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the eighth wonder of the world, the flow of the century. Oh, it's timeless. Ho! Thanks for coming out tonight. You could have been anywhere in the world.
What up? How you guys doing? Glad to be here. Last show I did before all this was in a town called Jasper. Jasper is the whitest place on the planet. Jasper is so white that you can overhear multiple conversations about how good the butter chicken at Earl's is. Yeah. Not a joke. Multiple conversations. Three people told me, bro, try this. I was like, yo, this is hilarious. So before the show, in front of hundreds and hundreds of people, I said that. But instead of people laughing, hundreds and hundreds of people literally looked at me and went, bro, have you tried the butter chicken at Earl's? I think this is hilarious. People started heckling me because I'm laughing on stage. They're like, it's authentic. It's really spicy. You can really taste the tomatoes. I started making fun of them, shutting them down. Finally, this lady in the second row had enough. She yelled out, what? You don't like Indian food? I'm like, we just call it food. If I told my mom to make me Indian food, she'd smoke a salmon. You get it. Facts. I usually make fun of a lot of people, but I decided to not do that going forward. I want to now open up about myself. So here's something. My parents don't speak English. They're born in India. They speak Punjabi. That is their native tongue. This is 100% true. My father only knows 4 English words. He knows hello, washroom, McDonald's, and for shizzle. Those are the 4 words he knows. 90% of my family doesn't speak English. That meant I went to school not knowing the language. So I had to learn out of necessity. It wasn't luxury for me to know the alphabet. I needed this information. In fact, I would be upset with my fellow classmates if they ever made a fuss or complained about what we were learning. Do we have to learn this? Yes, we fucking have to learn this. So what happens to the itsy bitsy spider? He goes up the water spout and down comes the rain? Ha! Can't wait to tell my father this. Hey, Dad, be careful at work tomorrow. Apparently in Canada, there's spiders everywhere. There's also a cow that jumps over the moon. I don't know what the fuck that's about. But it's real out here, Dad. It's fucking real. I took this way of learning and applied it to my everyday life. Elementary school, high school, university, adulthood. I'm really good at retention. I absorb everything. Recently, I've realized that I've assimilated to Canadian culture too well. And in doing so, I've isolated myself from my Indian peers. I'm too Canadian for them. But at the same time, I'm still too Indian for my white friends. So I find myself in this weird middle ground where I just act black. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, y'all see it. Yeah. It's fucking working, hey? Yeah, you should see me after my shows. You know, I take a girl back to my hotel room. She's like, what are you? I'm like, you're gonna be disappointed when you find out. Had no idea she was going home with Slumdog, you know what I mean? Yeah, this whole time she thought she was going home with Discount Drake. Yeah, Drake, the off-brand version of him, you know what I mean? You remember Drake? 40% less wheelchair. This guy is. By the way, ladies, don't think of me as discount Drake. Think of me as the Drake you can afford, okay? If Drake was here, you wouldn't have sex with any of you. I'll fuck all of you, for sure, 100%, no problem. Daryl, you first. For the people at home watching, and you don't know this, there's like 20 people in here, and Daryl is 6 of them. He's a big guy. He's swole. He just got out of prison 2 hours ago. This guy's yoked. He's diesel. I learned all these during coronavirus. Huh? He drinks a lot of milk, which is a lie because black people are lactose intolerant. Daryl farts a lot. Why are you heckling me when there's no one here, bro? I'll fuck with you. All right, sorry. See, this is what I usually do, but I'm not doing that anymore. I've changed. 3 months. Tiger King. I changed. You know what I'm doing now? I'm opening up about me. You know, I'm not making fun of you. I'm giving you me. Here it is. Next story. In this story, at the time of this story, my father had been living in Canada for 35 years. Randomly, he comes up to me and goes, Sunny, I think I want to be a Canadian citizen. I said, it's about fucking time, Dad. He says, can you tell me what this process entails? What do I have to do? I said, no problem. I look it up. Turns out, when you've lived in Canada that long, owned a home for that long, paid taxes for that long, all you have to do is prove where you live. So I go to my dad, and I go, all right, Dad, just repeat our address, right? And he repeats back to me, 32148. I'm gonna stop it there. I said the street name, the city, the postal code, everything. I'm not gonna say it now, because I don't want Daryl at my parents' house. They still live there. I don't want that. I don't want these problems. We call it food, Daryl. So, where's your son? Lifts the house. So, is he in the basement? I bet you he's in the basement. So in the story, I say the entire thing. My dad says the entire. Like I said off the top, my dad does not know English, so he actually gets it. He gets it correctly, and I'm like, all right, let's say it again. We say it. I don't know how many times that night, again and again. He gets it. I'm like, let's keep going, Dad. You're gonna ace this. Next morning, we drive out 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes away. We get to the place, open the doors, get to this booth. This lady's filling out her form. She looks at my dad. She goes, all right, sir, what is your current address? My dad looks at this lady and goes, 320, and stops talking. That's all he said. He didn't say the city, he didn't say Canada. I don't know what that means, 320. That's all she said. That might be an amount that he's bribing her. I don't know. But I'm trying to cover for my dad. So I'm just like, that's actually our address. We live in 320. We're trying to get to 420 real quick. That is it. That's where I go home to. And the lady moves down the line, asks me a follow-up question. I did not know there was another question. I did not prepare for this. She says to my dad, sir, what is your eye color? Without missing a beat, my dad looks at this lady and goes, red. She looks at me and I go, we've been studying all night. She starts laughing and I'm like, okay, what does this mean? What happens now? She goes, I have to write down what he said, send it in, and within a week you'll know if your dad's a Canadian citizen or not. So now I'm driving home, 30 minutes, yelling at my hero. Red eyes, bro, what the fuck? Do you smoke weed now? What the fuck is wrong with you? Every time I yell at my dad tries to reassure me, calm me down. The fact that he's gonna get his Canadian citizen. He goes, don't worry, Sonny, I'll get it. I'm like, there's no way you're gonna get it, Dad. You don't even know where we live. Is this why we don't have Amazon Prime? Amazon Prime is a service where you can order things and it gets to your house. Okay, sorry, all right. See, and he doesn't know his address, so he can't get that service. This section's from Chilliwack, for sure. People watching at home, they're dumb. Okay. Joking, it was a white guy with a mullet. I'm sorry. See, this is why I don't make fun of people anymore. I've changed. Okay, Jordan documentary. I've changed. Coronavirus. Okay. Sorry. What? This is why we don't have Amazon Prime? How did I mess it up the second time? This is why we don't have Amazon Prime? A week later, my dad is a Canadian citizen of this country. Yeah. Can't believe it. That's how easy it is, by the way, to get in this country. Trump would hit this place. Everybody's wearing masks and shit. He would hit it. I opened the letter. I was shocked. I thought my dad was going to be excited. My dad was super nonchalant. I'm like, Dad, you're a Canadian citizen. He looked at me and said, for shizzle. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're wrapping it up here. This is great. Oh, so good, because it's just starting to hit back. Okay. Fucked up my back. It's not a joke. This is real life. How did I do it? I watched a TV show while laying funny. Never thought it would happen to me. I have all this Jordan clothing. Like, I thought I was athletic. Bro. Nope. I'm fat. Okay, here we go. Okay. I moved, by the way, everybody. I got out of here. So glad to be back in Vancouver. It's always fun being here, but I don't live here anymore. I moved to Toronto, and I didn't tell anybody. I told a couple people. I told my mom, I said, Mom, you're gonna have to look for a new roommate. She said, why are you moving to Toronto? I said, God's plan. Thank you. Yeah, you got it. Turns out there's already one over there. Had to come back. Yeah, so, but when I say I didn't tell anybody, what I mean is I didn't tell the clubs that booked me out in Ontario, Manitoba and East. I didn't tell anybody. I told the people out here in West, but I didn't tell anybody out East. Sunny, why didn't you tell them? Because clubs in comedy like to pay for my travel. Yeah, so like this time last year, I headlined a comedy club in Toronto, and I remember it vividly. They went, Sunny, can you headline here? I said, yeah. They're like, all right, here's money for your flight. And then I walked to the show. Something my dad taught me, it's called lying. The following week, I had to play Ottawa, but I procrastinated, didn't book my plane ticket in time. Couldn't even afford a train ticket because the prices shot up, and it didn't make sense with the buyout they gave me. Had to take the bus. Not a form of transportation anybody chooses. You're left with the bus. No one says, hey, let's go to Montreal. Greyhound. No one says that. I would know. I do this a lot now. So I get on this bus, and there's 6 people, including myself, on this bus. I'm like, this is great. Everybody has their own little section. I'm going to fall asleep, wake up in Ottawa. This was a great decision. We get to our first stop. One person gets on the bus, sits directly behind me. This is the day I realized white people have gotten way too comfortable with brown people over the years. If this was right after 9/11, I would have the whole row to myself. I fucking know it. He's right behind me. I can't even recline my seat because I see this guy through my peripherals. I'm like, this is the worst trip ever. Then I started thinking about that guy a couple years back on the Greyhound, chopped that guy's head off. I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't even know this man. I gotta start being nice to him. So I just turn around, I'm like, hi. Sunee Dhaliwal. I just want to let you know that I have a family that loves me very much. Take that information how you want it. Guy starts talking back to me, very personal guy, this guy. Starts asking me questions. He goes, hey man, where are you going? I said, Ottawa. Been there before, would love to see it again. He goes, what? He goes, why are you going to Ottawa? I said, for work. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of people counting on me to be there this weekend. It'll be a shame if I didn't show up. Let them all down. He goes, what do you do for work? I said, I'm a comedian. His face lights up. He goes, bro, you're going to Ottawa and performing this weekend. I said, yeah. He goes, you're doing the comedy club in Ottawa this weekend. I go, yeah. He goes, I'm going to Ottawa too. I'm going to your show. My friend got me tickets. I'm coming to your show. Well, that's great. He goes, ha! You're a comedian? How's that going? He said, I'm on the fucking bus. How do you think it's going? Not good. In a couple of months, I'm going to Jasper and I'm going to eat butter chicken at Earl's. Hey guys, you've been fantastic. Daryl, call me. I'm out. Sunee Dhaliwal. Good night.
Woo! Yes. Everybody's doing good? I recently had a friend give me a call. I've got a lot of friends right now with everything going on in the world, with Black Lives Matter, and everybody's trying to become more educated about racism. And a white friend of mine called me the other day and said that she didn't know what to do about her dog. She thinks her dog's racist. I'm like, that's weird. That's a weird thing to put on a dog. So that her dog barks at black people all the time. I'm like, is it possible that you just notice that more than when he barks at white people? And I just kind of thought, there are so many things that we're allowed to blame the dog for. If your roommate's sandwich goes missing, I just tell her probably the dog did it. You can blame your farts on the dog. That seems more than fair. Oh man, the dog ate beans tonight. Don't blame your racism on the dog. Anyways, we have another fantastic sketch coming up, a animated sketch, very, very funny stuff by Shishki Productions. Let's give it up for them. Woo!
ਉਹ ਯਾਰ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਘਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰੱਜ ਕੇ ਖਾਓ ਪੀਓ ਉਹ ਪੈਸਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਟੈਨਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੁਖਰੂ ਤੂੰ ਵੀ ਲੈ ਲਾ ਕੁਛ
Oh true thanks ਭਾਜੀ
ਉਹ ਇੱਕ ਨਾ ਜਾਣ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਚਿੱਠੀ ਆਈ ਆ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਜੇ ਮੜ ਜੀ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਜੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ ਦੋ ਉਹ ਸਿਰਫ ਅੱਧਾ ਮਿੰਟ ਲੱਗਣਾ ਨਾਲੇ ਪੀਣ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਕ ਲਓ ਕੁਛ ਪੀ ਲਓ ਕੁਛ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਛ
it says a form ਅਗਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਤੱਕ ਭਰਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ
ਅੱਛਾ ਫਿਰ ਹੁਣੇ ਭਰ ਦੋ
ਡੈਡ ਸਾਡੀ ਬਾਹਰ ਵੇਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ
ਉਹ ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਡੈਡੀ ਤੇਰਾ ਮੈਂ ਸਮਝਾ ਦੂੰ
ਓਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਬਰਥਡੇ ਕਦੋਂ ਆ
ਪੇਪਰਾਂ ਵਾਲਾ ਜਾਂ ਅਸਲੀ
What?
Can we just talk about why under full name it says Bantu Singh?
ਦੀ ਬਾਥਰੂਮ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਇੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਆ
ਉਹ ਭਾਈ ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਗੇ ਸਮਝਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਮਾਂ ਪਿਓ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਮੰਨਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਛੋਟੂ ਕੱਲ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਨਾ ਫਾਰਮ ਭਰ ਜੀ ਨਾਲੇ ਤਾਜੇ ਟਾਕੋ ਖਵਾਉ
How about that one? I like the time that he drew the thing. Our next comedian is fantastic. I've seen him perform many times. He always wears a suit. He makes me laugh. Welcome to the stage, Rajneesh Dhawan.
Monsoon Festival. People who don't know about monsoon, in India, it's a season of rain, a season of love, a season of romance, a season of mangoes. Let me tell you something about mangoes. In Sanskrit language, which is the language of Hindu scriptures, there's a word for mangoes. The word is chuth. Sunny's like, what? And chuth in Hindi, which is a derivative of Sanskrit, means a vagina. Mango is the national fruit of India. And the true patriotic love of Indians for their national fruit, mango, is reflected in their rate of reproduction. My name is Rajneesh Dhawan. Welcome to the South Asian Society Arts Festival. It's brilliant to be here in the Kalch Theatre. I'm following Sunee Dhaliwal, so my career is really going way up. Yeah, we'll see that. Yeah, that's a good excuse, Sunny. So my name is Rajneesh. I'm a Hindu, and I am going to tell you a few things about Hinduism today. Hinduism is very unique in the sense that this is the only religion in the world that has survived 800 years of Islamic colonization, 200 years of Christian colonization, and still there are like 1 billion of us on planet. Like, this has never happened anywhere. Think about it. We are in Canada, right? We know what happens to native culture when Europeans come here with their Bibles and their blankets, right? How did that happen? This question has mesmerized people all the way from Vatican to Harvard to Jakarta to Cairo. I'll tell you how. There are multiple reasons. Reason number one, sex. Whereas every other religion in the world wants you to stay away from sex, Hinduism wants you to have as much of it as possible. And there's a Sanskrit shloka for that. It's called Dharma Artha Kam Mokshanam, which basically means that you achieve salvation, you have to do three things. Do your job, make some money, and fuck like bunnies. Why do you think we wrote the Kama Sutra? Right? Yeah, when Christians were writing their sermons in stones, my ancestors were sculpting orgies and putting them up on temple walls. Orgies that are so graphic that will put Pornhub out of business. And when the Europeans came with their Victorian morals and found Kama Sutra to be too hardcore, we created a softer version for them. You guys call it yoga. The another reason for our survival is that we Indianize everything. You know, wherever Indians go or whatever or whoever comes to India gets Indianized. Case in point, city of Surrey. You become an Indian in Surrey just by peer pressure. Second example, tea. So the British came to India, they brought tea with them. What did we do? We Indianized it. We took their tea, added a bunch of spices, put some milk, sugar, boiled, and created a flavorful concoction like chai. Indian chai is to British tea like Meghan Markle is to the royal family. Yeah, and after marrying Meghan, Prince Harry gave up his title Prince, so you know that Indian chai has the power to make a man out of a royal dummy. And now they're having kids. So a white guy with a mixed heritage wife, their kids are gonna have something which my daughter already has, better DNA. And that will mean that they will have good immunity. And we are living in a pandemic. What else do you need, right? Immunity. Yeah, my genes pool is very vast. Like, you can't even imagine. So the Muslims came, the Christians came, but before that, everybody has been coming to India. The Greeks, the Persians, the Mongols, everybody came, and we gave them an illusion that they have conquered us, while actually we were fucking them. And I'm not saying metaphorically, we were actually fucking them. So as a result, our gene pool is very, very vast. And I don't need any ancestry shit to come to know of that. I just need to look at my family. So in my family, my dad is like Barack Obama black. And one of his real brothers, my uncle, is like Bernie Sanders white. This is all true. In between, they have 4 others with different shades of gray. So my gene pool is not a result of normal sex. My gene pool is the equivalent of what you get after a multicultural, multiracial, multi-ethnic gangbang in which no one pulls out. So I have great immunity, but despite the fact that I have great immunity, I still wear a mask, unlike Trump and his followers, right? Speaking of Trump and his followers, racism has been in news for some time now. Right, and I'm a brown dude from India who's a new immigrant, so people have by default asked me, have you faced any racism? Yes, I have. There are 2 kinds of it. First kind I haven't faced a lot, maybe a couple of times. That is racism based in hate. The other one is very common. Actually, that is the racism that's responsible for me coming back to comedy after 30 years. And that is racism based in ignorance and prejudice. So I'm going to give you some examples. These are real examples, by the way, and my reaction to that, right? So I teach English in a university. Yes. And true story, a colleague, not from my department, some other department, asked me, who knows that I am with the Department of English, who knows I have a fucking PhD in English, asked me, "You are new from India, how come your English is so good?" I was like, "Same reason your English is so good, colonialism." Another true story, I'm sitting in the faculty lounge having lunch, reading an academic journal on classical literature, which is my specialty, by the way. A woman comes, sits across me, we start having small talk. After about 5 minutes of talking about weather, she asks me, a 50-year-old brown dude sitting in the fucking faculty lounge, having lunch, reading an academic journal, she asks me, "So are you a student here or are you an employee?" True story. And I said, no, I'm just a prowler on campus looking for a cougar. Is this the library? Another true story. A colleague of mine whose office is right across my office, we meet practically every day. For the first time in her life, she sees me outside the campus and at a Starbucks. True story. The difference was, I said hello to her. The difference is, I'm wearing this hat. And she said, "Hello, Muhammad." I was like, "What?" And then she looks underneath the hat. "Oh, Rajneesh, I got confused by the hat." She not only changed my name, she even changed my religion. And I live in Chalawak, the fucking Bible Belt. You know, people care about that shit over there. Damn it. But Indianization is great. Like, owing to Indianization, I have managed to ward off Jehovah's Witnesses for good. So they come to my house, they try to convince me that I should repent for the sin of eating an apple that Eve did sometime, somewhere. And I tell them, well, listen, here's the thing. You say that Adam and Eve ate apple and they got aware of their sexuality, and that is, But if Eve were an Indian, she would not have to eat apple and offend God to know about her sexuality. She'll just go out and eat a mango. Okay, you guys have been wonderful. Thank you very much.
Rajneesh! Guys, we did it! We got through it! Everybody got their masks on still? Yeah, good job, good job. Thank you so much. This wasn't weird at all. Yeah! This was fantastic. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for tuning in. Keep your masks on. Sneeze into your elbow, I think, is what we're supposed to be doing. And be safe, because we don't want that second wave until Netflix releases Tiger King 2. Have a good night!